Hello YouTube, this is OJ Cubing, and in today's video we're going to be magnetising my Qiyi Wuque 4x4. So the magnets I'm going to be using are these 3x2 N42s for the inner layers, and basically 3x2 means the diameter is 3mm and the depth is 2mm, and N42 is the graded magnet, probably the strength or something. And for the outer layers I'm going to be using 4x2 N35s. And for super glue, I've got this new Gorilla Glue to use, just because my old super glue only did plastic to plastic, and this will also do plastic to metal. So first of all, we have got to disassemble the cube. So I've just sorted all these pieces into internals and centers, which both aren't going to be modified at all, and then corners, which I'm going to come back to later. So as you can see, we have all the edges or wings here, and we need to get them all apart. And a useful thing I've learnt to do here is to get a knife of some sorts and just sort of poke it in this end bit here, so that it goes through. Be careful because there are things jutting out, and then twist it slightly and that will prise them apart. Again, you've got to be careful not to cut off these little legs sort of things, because that can ruin the piece a bit. And we're going to put those aside and do that for all of these edge pieces. Okay, so now I actually have to get rid of most of these pieces. I'm going to keep these two wings here, push all of them off the table, and of course I'm going to be using them in a little bit, and get rid of these as well. And all we need to do is focus on these two little pieces here. And to take apart the corner pieces is a very similar method. You just find sort of a groove like here, and you poke your thing into it, and it should come apart as easy as that. And you can just do that for all 8 corners. And now we can use the corner pieces as well. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is place one of the smaller magnets into this piece and one of them into the other piece. They are a bit fiddly and you may lose them, which is why I've got a couple spare. Place them at the back, and as you can see, they've attracted towards each other. And so it looks like that's where they're going to be staying. I'm going to get some super glue now, and I'm going to place a drop on this one. Just make sure that stays in place, and one on this one here, and I'm going to leave them to dry there for a little bit. Now that those ones are dry, we're going to take them apart, and I've got another 2 edges. This one, as you can see, has a magnet in it, and that's going to stick there like that. And this one also has a magnet, and those will go together like that. And of course we can then get our super glue and glue up the new pieces. From 4 we go to 8, and from 8 to 16 to 32, and finally to 48, with only 2 magnets spare. So the next thing I want to do is the outer layer, which I'm going to do like this, and I need a magnet in that edge piece and the magnet in this corner piece. And I want to make sure that the magnet I put in the edge piece repels the other one, because if it attracts them, they're more likely to fall out of their place. So my plan around this is to take just the edge piece and put in the other magnet so that it is attached to the other piece. I'm going to take a little marker pen and mark up that side, and then take the piece out. So you can see that bit there. Now I need to make sure that this is now going to be attached this way round, so that it is repelling the other magnet there and doesn't attract. Put one magnet piece in the corner, and make sure that this goes in the right way on the other side of that piece, like that. So there, those two are connected up, and they should be in the right polarity, with these 2 magnets repelling and these 2 attracting. And then we can base all the rest of these together as they are now. So same process again, bit of super glue on both of them, and then wait for them to dry, and then pair them up again with the next ones. And just like last time, we go from 2 to 4, 8, and you get the gist from here. So that is all 48 done again, and yet again we have to wait just a little bit longer just to make sure they are fully dried. So I found some of this white residue on some of the pieces and I got a bit worried because I thought, have I stained it or anything? But no, it is quite easy just to rub off. And so, you know, crisis averted, that can kind of happen with the super glue. I think it just leaves some form of residue or something. So quite often see it on the inside, but yeah, it happened on the outside of a couple of pieces. Just gonna say it is fine. Okay, that is my Wuque finally assembled and magnetised, and let's get into the first impressions of it. Well, it does feel a little bit clicky. It definitely feels heavier, that's for sure. You can definitely feel the weight of the magnets. Well, I don't really know how this is going to affect the cube, really, so I guess I'm going to go back, do some solves on it, and then give you my final thoughts on the puzzle. So guys, I've had my Wuque M for quite a while now and I'm ready to make my full review. Unfortunately, I did not like this puzzle. I think the magnets, although they work completely fine, they are doing exactly what they're supposed to do. In my opinion, they're just too strong, and I feel like personally they click just a bit too much and it's not quite to my liking. But as I say, they are still good. It does snap into place and it would probably help out a lot of people with making it a lot more controllable. Consequently, I've decided to buy myself a new Wuque, which will be coming out in the boxing soon, just without magnets, because I feel like I'm not ready for a magnetic 4x4 at the moment, and if I am, I'd need to get some less strong magnets for myself. But the magnets I used in this were the ones that were recommended, and so I do think they're the standard one. It just turns out that I like weaker magnets better. So having said that, I'm going to be trying to sell this 4x4 because it is still perfectly fine, there's nothing wrong with it. And I am asking £27 for it because that's exactly how much I paid, not even including shipping. And so if you are coming to Guildford, which is this weekend, then make sure to leave a comment below, or I'll just be trying to sell it at Guildford anyway. And I'll probably try and sell it at the UK Championships as well, if it isn't sold by then. I've also actually got my PB on this cube, so it can't be all that bad. I just kind of got a bit lucky. I still felt that personally it would have been a bit better for me if I'd have done it on a regular old Wuque. So guys, that is the end of this video here. I'm going to leave this tutorial up because it is still the correct way to make a magnetic 4x4, even though it didn't turn out as well as I wanted it to, which is a bit disappointing. But thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye! I'm sorry, I just couldn't resist.